I think it's a collection of various issues built up over 10 years, and the frustration, a lot of the frustration came from people not finding their names on the electoral roll, their expectations not being met by the Electoral Commission, not being met by the government, suspicions over the counting and the manner in which counting has been conducted all over the country. So that's been like legacy issues over the last 10, 20 years, and it's boiled over. There's a lot of distrust towards the Electoral Commission and how it's handling the elections and the counting and all of that put together, and a lot of frustration by ordinary Papua New Guineans as well, and supporters and scrutineers.
The problem is that it's spilled over and the violence is perpetrated against other Papua New Guineans. It's not really, you know, it looks so brutal and out of control from afar. Yes, it is. It has been a very brutal week,
in Port Moresby. And as you've seen on the videos circulated on social media yesterday, that was quite unprecedented for Port Moresby. And it worried a lot of people, especially people who are used to the crime or relatively used to the crime. And people have, questioned how the government is going to actually deal with this violence, because people are acting with impunity and just next to a counting center. So it's been a very tense morning in Port Moresby. I was trying to get to the airport. I couldn't get there quickly enough because I had a check-in time at 12 o'clock. I was trying to get there at 10. I couldn't because there was instances of violence along the way, and I had to go back home again until the situation quietened down 2 hours later, and we were able to get to the airport. So, yeah, police presence has been boosted. There's PNG Defence Force soldiers on the ground in various locations. That's caused a quieting down of the situation in Port Moresby.
Yeah. Do you get the sense, though, that the government is going to act firmly? The Prime Minister has said that people who disobey the law will be, meet the full brunt of it. But there doesn't seem to be much clarity about how he's going to contain this.
Yeah, he's always appears to be a bit vague when it comes to situations like this, and particularly for this one, people were expecting decisiveness, but they didn't get it today. He held a news conference. He was supposed to have met with the National Security Advisory Council. That's the body that decides whether there should be a state of emergency or not, and whether or not to deploy soldiers. So he was supposed to have met with them before the 3 p.m. press conference. So he's been criticized a lot on social media, saying, things should be done quicker, decisively by this government, and that's a lot of criticism going towards the incoming Prime Minister. Mm.
What impact is this going to have on the election? We know that writs are expected this Friday, but with this chaos, not only in Port Moresby, but in other provinces, do you think this election is going to be able to be declared at any point?
It's various electorates. So, some electorates will be declared, no problems there. There will be some that will have some question mark over them, especially places like in the Enga province, and the Enga governor, Peter Ipatas, has already raised concerns about the violence that's happened in Enga. Counting from the Wabeg electorate has been moved to Jiwaka, where it's safer to count, and 1 or 2 candidates have been declared there. So the Electoral Commission is trying to manage as much as possible, either to move counting from one electorate to another to provide a safe venue for counting. So it's situations like that they're trying to manage on a day-to-day basis and on a case-by-case basis.
Yeah. But, as you said right at the beginning, Scott, it does seem that this violence speaks of a much deeper problem. Every election, it's talked about how disorganised things are, how it must get better, but it does feel like it goes deeper than just an election.
Yeah, it's a lot of people are blaming this government. You can't really blame one government. It's a collection of issues that's existed over the last 30 years and hasn't been fixed. And, you know, people have come out and complained about it. Papua New Guineans have said these are the things that we need to fix, and they haven't minced their words. They've stated very clearly that our names are not on the electoral roll. You know, some of the older folks who've voted for years and years can't find their names on the electoral roll. So that's quite a disturbing trend. We had kind of like a preview in the last by-election in Port Moresby, and those issues came up, those concerns came up, people were raising them, and the Electoral Commission assured Papua New Guineans that they would have it under control by 2022. Whether it was realistic or not, it's obviously proven that the expectations haven't been met. So there's a whole heap of frustrations there, and it's boiled over in many electorates.
Yeah. Do you think Papua New Guinea needs to get greater support from international partners like Australia?
Look, it's an issue that needs to be discussed by the government and decided upon by the government. And from my personal perspective, I would like the government to get its act together and fix these problems internally. They can be fixed if there is political will to fix it. And so far, there hasn't been the political will to fix it.
Scott, appreciate your insights into this. Thank you so much.
Thank you.